Now to the developments in South Asia. Yesterday, India conducted airstrikes on a suspected militant hideout in Pakistan. That's what India said. Pakistan says it was an Indian spy. We told you about all this yesterday. What is Pakistan's response going to be like? We discussed the when and the why. Tonight, we focus on the how. How will Pakistan respond? There are many ways of responding. You could respond militarily, diplomatically, or politically. Let's look at the military option first. Pakistan has a credible missile arsenal. It can hit targets inside India. So why didn't it do that yesterday? Why not hit back immediately? Because Pakistan has committed not to initiate a war. This is what their army chief said in March 2021. He said, and I'm quoting, "We will not initiate a war. But if forced into a corner, we will not hesitate to respond with full force." What he meant was this: Pakistan will not start a war, but if India provokes it, it will respond strongly. In other words, this statement was a vow to retaliate, not necessarily to attack. So attacking India was out of the question for Pakistan. They don't want to start a war. What about a diplomatic response then? Well, Pakistan has taken that route. This morning they summoned India's ambassador in Islamabad and lodged a protest. The foreign minister, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, he also spoke to journalists. Let me tell you what he said. This is what the Pakistani foreign minister said. "We have seen the Indian missile strike. We condemn it. It is a violation of our sovereignty, and we will respond at the appropriate time in a manner and fashion that we deem fit." Notice the words he used. At the appropriate time in a manner and fashion that we deem fit. Diplomacy 101, they say. You never threaten, you never make boasts. And certainly you never issue threats in the name of your nation or your people. Remember, this is a Pakistani minister speaking here. He's threatening India. Do you see how undiplomatic that is? Also notice the words he used. At the appropriate time. More diplomacy. Pakistan is buying time, essentially. They want to respond, but they want to probe further. They want more facts on the ground before deciding on a response. So what does that response look like? We can tell you about two possibilities here. Number 1, a tit-for-tat move, something like the Balakot strikes of 2019. In February that year, India carried out an airstrike in Balakot. Pakistan responded with the strikes in March. That's tit-for-tat. Move number 2, a symbolic strike like this one. In 2016, an Indian soldier was killed in an alleged cross-border attack. India responded by dropping a bomb on a Pakistani militant camp. Two separate incidents, different years, same response. A symbolic strike. That's what Pakistan may opt for. But remember, both these responses assume that India provoked Pakistan. If that's not the case, if there's no provocation, then there should be no response. Having said that, we must remember something else. Pakistan has been pushed into a very tough corner. Their territory is being used to launch terror attacks on India. Their so-called moral outrage over the alleged spy incident is laughable. What's not laughable is the fact that their territory is being used for terror attacks. How long will Pakistan let that happen? How long will they tolerate this hybrid war being waged on their soil? Remember, it's not just the threat of militant attacks. There's already been a lot of damage done. Militants from Pakistani soil entered India's Jammu and Kashmir and killed a Hindu priest. This happened last week. Then there's the ongoing border dispute. Both sides have laid claim to an area of around 7,000 square kilometers. And now there is the spy episode. All of this has happened in less than 4 months. So the public sentiment in Pakistan is likely to be anti-India. Politically, it suits Pakistan to be anti-India. So the options before them are limited. They cannot afford to not respond. At the same time, they cannot afford to escalate matters. They need to project themselves as the underdog, the victim of Indian aggression. Anything more would invite international scrutiny. Plus, they don't have the resources to escalate things. Think back to the Balakot strikes. Pakistan lost an F-16 in that strike. Remember, it was America's F-16 that was shot down, not Pakistan's. The pilot ejected safely. But that one aircraft was all the difference between a conventional and unconventional response. In other words, Pakistan doesn't have the firepower to match India's strike for strike. Having said all of this, there's no excuse to hold back. India did what it had to do. The world understands the difference between preemptive and punitive action.